I'm Natalia Tales, and you're at Popularity.
First of all, out of everyone you worked on your album with, who taught you the most valuable lesson, and what was it?
Actually, I think that being signed to Will I Am and first being in the studio with him before I actually began recording my album and working with other producers, I learned the most valuable thing is that if you have an opinion, you should stick to it. And then if you're always being yourself, you'll never be caught out as a fake. Your music will never become contrived. Just definitely, if you know what you want, don't compromise, because the world will bend towards you if it's good and it's honest, rather than making a hit for the moment because everyone's doing, dance or rock or hip-hop. It's better to just remain yourself, and then the world will relate to that.
Can you describe how you approach your music?
I approach my music quite like the way I approach everything, my personal style and the way I live my life. I'm really inspired by film, and I really, really like to bring out a drama in everything and a celebration to the drama. So that's really how I initially approach my music. I write my songs and I co-produce the beats and I direct my visuals, and I just follow my first instinct and amplify from there.
What would you say are some of the key challenges that you faced during your creative process?
Well, I never start making a song looking for a hit or anything. I literally work off personal impulse. If I have an idea, I have to make that idea, and I literally can't move on until I do. So I feel like one of the biggest obstacles is translating that into a way that can relate to everyone else, so that you do, kind of gel with your audience and your fans and your followers, and you do relate to people so that you can draw in new people with your ideas. You can't be entirely hedonistic when it comes to music, because music is something that has to be shared. So it's all about, the biggest obstacle I would say is just translating myself into a way that can be fully enjoyed by others.
What would you say are the biggest things that you have learned about yourself musically and personally during the creative process for the album?
I really learned just that the first instinct is usually the correct one. If something immediately comes to your mind and it was obvious to you and it felt natural, then usually if people listen to it, it feels obvious and natural and memorable to them. So I feel like once you're onto a good thing, you should just really not compromise who you are or what your opinions are just to try and get a popular or a hit record.
Can you talk a bit about some of the highs and the lows that you went through while recording?
Yes, I think that it's all highs. If you're making music just for yourself, like I am, and writing songs about yourself and your personal experiences, like myself, like me, I really think it's all high. I feel like the only low is, when you're stuck in between ideas. You have the idea, but you don't have the beat to put it on, or you're waiting to finish the song because you ran out of time the day before. But really, if you're just making music for your own personal enjoyment, like I am, then, just to express yourself, then I feel like it's all high, because the worst thing that can happen is no one else likes it. Mm-hmm. But if you like it, then that's all that matters. And that's the only reason you should make music, is for your own enjoyment and for you to express it. And everything else comes second, translating it in a way that people can also enjoy it and relate to it, and making it, have definitely a commercial or a mainstream sound. That's all second to you being honest and true to your own sound.
I wanted to throw out a couple song titles and get your initial thoughts. First, the track Mirror.
Mirrors is my first single. It's produced by A1 and Cherry Cherry Boom Boom. And I'm a perfectionist, and a lot of that is to do with control and vanity. And I really wanted to make a song kind of having fun with those factors, and really just celebrating the freedom of, being able to do what you want and being in your own head and be really exhilarated and excited by yourself being in an intimate situation, not just by the other person giving you attention. So that's really what it's about, just enjoying the freedom of control.
Mm-hmm. What about Love is Suicide?
Love is Suicide is one of actually my favorite songs on my album that I wrote. I really believe that love is a suicide because, you know, if you're in like a perfect relationship and if you really give all of yourself to someone and all of your time and energy, really you're giving them, you know, your vulnerability, the opportunity that if they don't treat you well to really destroy you, to kill you, to kill your feelings, to kill the love. And you're giving them that, you know, so it's a suicide. You're volunteering yourself, your own personal sanity and your heart for someone to either cherish or destroy. So love really is a personal suicide.
Are there any songs in the album that surprised you by taking a different direction than you initially envisioned that they would?
No, I write my lyrics. I write the melodies unless someone, the producer has great ideas, and then I'm more than happy to collaborate. And I co-produce. No, absolutely not. I go in there with an idea, and I come out of there with the finished idea. And I don't really take no for an answer. So that's it.
What would you say are some of the most significant musical moments in your life that have influenced your journey as an artist?
Okay, first of all, I think my love of film and discovering the way music is used in film to create drama and suspense has been the main influence over my entire approach to anything, because realizing why Steven Spielberg films were so good, why Tarantino films are so dramatic and suspenseful and exhilarating, it's all because of the music, watching them as a kid and then putting the films on mute and realizing that the kill is not that scary when there's no sound to amplify the action and the suspense and the drama, and just discovering that from a really early age, that's to me has really shaped my entire viewpoint of how music should be made. Music is the soundtrack to our personal experiences and our emotions, and we should treat it like a soundtrack where the music, not just the lyric and the melody, but the actual music has to be as dramatic, as emotional, as joyful, as hard as the lyric and everything that goes over it.
Do you have anything that you'd like to say to the readers of Popularity? Any final words?
Yes. Stay tuned. Keep reading. It's awesome.